Good afternoon, church. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm so glad you could join us. Hope you're staying warm on this cold day. Hopefully you had a good cup of coffee. Today I just wanted to share some thoughts with you. These are not original thoughts. This is a Devo that I read that captured my heart, and I just want to share a take on it. There's three things that the world desperately needs from the church post-election. So the election has been counted. We'll have a winner sooner or later. It seems, it's in someone else's hands. But I think what the world needs from the church is vitally important for us to understand in this season. The first thing that the world needs from the church is to understand that a blaming culture needs a confessing church. It is so easy to blame people for things going on, and I think that's what we do in the flesh. But how much of it can we own? How much of the negativity going on can we own? And now for some of you, and for most of us, it's probably not much, but God has called us to be a people that confess. The Bible is clear that there is power in confession. Now, I want you to think, for those of you who are married, if all you do is blame your spouse constantly, it's blame, or maybe you get blamed a lot, does that help anything? Is that good for your marriage? Does that bring you closer together? No, absolutely not. I know for me as a husband and as a father, as a leader, as a pastor, the times where I confess my sin, the times where I say sorry, those are the moments that bring the most healing. Those are the moments that bring the most hope. Those are the moments where things get right. This is what we need to do as a church. We need to confess what we confess. We need to own what we can own. And we need to not contribute to the negativity. It can be so easy in our flesh to blame others or blame groups of people we disagree with. But what God is calling us to is not to blame, but to confess. There is power in confession, and when the church starts to confess more and accuse less, we'll make progress. Because the world needs a confessing church, not a blaming culture. Number two, a divided nation needs a united church. This is one of Jesus' most important prayers in the Bible. He prays it a couple of times. He prays for the unity of all of the future believers. He wants us to be in unity. Right now, our world is desperate to figure out what unity is. Our country was pretty evenly split in this last election, and coming together seems so difficult. And for some of you, you're probably wondering, how can I come together with people I feel so differently about or disagree with? Well, here's the thing. We don't need to agree here. What Jesus calls to agree on is here. God has given us a mission that supersedes all of the baloney that goes on in the culture, all of the baloney that goes on in the earth. And our young people are on the line. We need our young people to love Jesus the way we do. And for so many young leaders, for so many young Christians, they feel like they need to apologize for the way the church has behaved. So let's not contribute to the division. It's okay to have your opinions and your thoughts, but understand that God has called us to be part of the most important thing going on, the redemption of all mankind. God has called us to help people find and follow Jesus. So become the unifying force that God wants us to be around the most important mission on the earth. And I think the culture will come running if we can do that, if we can model what unity looks like. And number three, an exhausted culture needs an alternative to itself, not an echo. With all of the tribalism, the division, the anger, the outrage, our culture is exhausted. I mean, everyone tuning in today, you're probably exhausted too by all of the junk that's gone on. And it's clear that even the culture is tired of itself and is looking for a solution. The solution is the church just being the church. The solution is having genuine, God-fearing, hopeful, truthful, loving relationships. It's being good friends with people that you don't agree about everything. It's loving people who you don't agree with on everything. The world is dying to see that. So we need to be careful not to run to echo chambers, not to run to culture for solutions. We need to be the ones that set culture as a church, and then we'll see people running back to Jesus the way they were supposed to. So how do you know if you've been guilty of becoming a follower of culture? If you think that God agrees with you on every one of your positions and opinions, you've probably fallen prey to being a victim of the culture. Because our God is much bigger than our thoughts or our opinions. So imagine in the next few months what the world would look like, what our church would look like if love surged, Hope got fueled. We could disagree without being disagreeable. We focused on what united people and not divided people, and that Christians were the help and the hope, not the hate. Because if all we do is just continue to hate the people that hate, it's just going to be one never-ending downward spiral of hate. But if we can bring hope and help, then the future of the church is brighter than ever. I hope we can do these three things today. God bless you, church. Have a great rest of your day.